There's a point in everyone's financial journey where the numbers finally start moving in a way that almost feels unreal. For years, it seems like every dollar of progress comes from you, your discipline, your savings, your sacrifices, and then suddenly, your net worth starts growing faster than you can save, faster than you can earn, faster than you ever expected. It feels like everything changes overnight. But it's actually the result of hitting a few specific turning points that flip the math in your favor. Today, we're breaking down the 3 net worth milestones that completely transform how fast your wealth grows, why progress feels painfully slow before you hit them, and the moment your money finally starts working harder than you do. And hey, if you're trying to build a bigger financial future and you want content that actually explains why wealth accelerates later in life, make sure to hit subscribe. It helps the channel reach more people who need this information. Alright, let's get into it. Section 1. Why your net worth barely moves in the beginning. In the beginning stages of building wealth, it feels like you're pushing a giant boulder uphill. You're saving, you're making sacrifices, you're doing everything right, yet your net worth barely moves. And there's a simple reason for that. Almost all of the growth is coming from you, not from the market. If you're putting aside $200 a month, your account grows by $200 a month. Meanwhile, your investment returns might only add a few dollars here and there. Nothing exciting, nothing motivating. And because the progress looks so small, most people assume investing isn't working and stop long before compounding even has a chance to begin. But this early flat part of the curve is completely normal. It's the warm-up phase. It's where you're building the habit, the discipline, and the foundation that future growth depends on. The returns are tiny now because your base is tiny, but every dollar you add increases the surface area for compounding to work on later. This is the part of the journey that feels the hardest, and also the part that matters the most. If you can stay consistent here, you're setting yourself up for the moment when your money finally starts working harder than you do. Section 2. The first milestone, $100,000, the hardest and the most important. Reaching your first $100,000 is the point where wealth building quietly shifts from all effort to real momentum. But getting there? It's a grind. It often takes years of saving, years of discipline, and years of wondering whether any of this actually works. That's why almost every investor will tell you the same thing. The first $100,000 is the hardest money you will ever make. Up to this point, nearly all of your progress comes from you, your deposits, your choices, your sacrifices. Compounding is happening in the background, but the numbers are so small at first that it barely feels real. You're carrying almost all the weight. But once you cross $100,000, something important changes. The base you've built is finally big enough for compounding to grab onto. Instead of earning a few dollars here and there, your money might start generating hundreds of dollars in growth, then thousands. And it begins to snowball in a way you can actually see. This milestone isn't just mathematical, it's psychological. Hitting $100,000 proves that you can stick to a plan, that your habits are working, and that compounding isn't just a theory in a finance book. It's happening in real time. And once you cross this line, every milestone that comes after becomes noticeably easier. It's the gateway to real wealth momentum, the moment your money officially starts helping you instead of the other way around. Section 3. Milestone number 2. Around $650,000, when your money starts paying your bills. This is the milestone where people suddenly realize, wait, my investments are starting to cover real-life expenses. Around $650,000 invested, give or take, is the point where compounding stops feeling theoretical and starts replacing actual work hours. At this level, an average return of 8% per year produces a little over $50,000 in growth annually. That's not lottery money, but it's a meaningful amount. The kind of amount that can cover rent, groceries, insurance, or even most of a modest lifestyle depending on where you live. What makes this milestone so powerful isn't just the number, it's the shift in security. Losing a job no longer feels like the end of the world. A medical bill doesn't instantly become a crisis. You finally have breathing room because your money is doing part of the heavy lifting for you. This is also the stage where opportunities appear that simply didn't exist before. You can change careers, start a business, take a sabbatical, or say no to work that drains you. Because you're no longer relying on every single paycheck for survival. Your investments are quietly backing you up. In short, the $650,000 mark is the moment where wealth becomes practical. It pays bills, it buys time, and it gives you real options long before you ever reach $1 million. Section 4. Milestone number 3. $1 million. When wealth compounds faster than you can save. Reaching $1 million is not just a financial milestone, it's a psychological turning point. At this stage, something dramatic happens. Your money now grows faster than you could ever realistically save on your own. With $1 million invested, an average return of 8% means your portfolio can grow by $80,000 in a single year. That is more than many people are able to save even with a high salary, and it keeps accelerating. The next year, your portfolio might grow by $86,000, then $92,000, and the compounding continues to snowball. This is the moment when wealth stops being something you build and becomes something that builds itself. You're no longer dragging your net worth uphill. The hill is finally working in your favor. You may not feel rich. $1 million today is not what it used to be, but the freedom it creates is enormous. You now have the ability to retire early, work part-time, pursue passion projects, or simply live with far less financial anxiety. Even modest withdrawals, following something like the 4% rule, can cover a meaningful portion of your lifestyle. In short, the $1 million milestone is where compounding becomes more powerful than your paycheck. It's the point where time, patience, and discipline finally show their full return, and where your money becomes the hardest working member of your household. Section 5. Why these milestones matter more than income. A lot of people assume wealth is simply about earning more money, but income alone doesn't create freedom. Assets do, and that's why these 3 net worth milestones matter so much. Because once your savings start compounding, your net worth grows from returns, not from your paychecks. A person earning a modest salary, but consistently investing, can eventually pass someone making a high income who spends everything they earn. Income gives you options, but net worth gives you stability and ultimately independence. These milestones, $10,000, around $650,000, and $1 million, aren't just numbers. They are the points where your money shifts from something you work for into something that works for you. And once your net worth starts pulling its own weight, the pressure on your income drops, your financial stress fades, and your future becomes much more predictable. That is why the milestones matter more than the paycheck that gets you there. Section 6. How to reach these milestones faster. You hit these milestones faster by doing a few simple things consistently. First, automate your investing so money moves into your account before you ever see it. Consistency matters more than the exact amount. Second, raise your contributions when your income increases. Even $50 more each month can shave years off your timeline. Third, use tax-advantaged accounts and employer matches. They act like a built-in multiplier most people ignore. Fourth, keep lifestyle inflation low, especially in the early years when your contributions do most of the work. And finally, stay invested, even during market downturns. Time in the market is what gets you to the big milestones. Do these consistently, and every milestone arrives much sooner than you expect. Section 7. The real reason most people never reach these milestones. Most people don't fall short because the math doesn't work. They fall short because the early years feel too slow. When your account barely moves, it's easy to believe compounding isn't working and give up before the momentum hits. Others get stuck because lifestyle creep eats the money that should have gone into investments. As income rises, expenses rise even faster. And many never build wealth simply because they keep switching strategies, jumping in and out of the market, chasing trends, or waiting for the perfect time that never comes. The truth is simple. The people who reach these milestones aren't the smartest or the highest earners. They're the ones who stay consistent long enough for compounding to finally show its power. The biggest lesson in all of this is simple. Your net worth curve only bends upward if you stay on the track long enough. Most people quit in the slow years, right before the numbers finally start accelerating. But if you stay consistent, even with small amounts, you eventually hit those moments where your money grows faster than you can save. That's when everything changes. So keep going, stay invested, stay patient, and let time do what time does best. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and like the video. It helps more than you know. And if you want to go deeper, watch the next video I've linked for you. It'll show you exactly how to speed up your path to financial independence. See you there.